true. They got JFK Jr. down at the flight center for the NASA missiles got him and clipped him out of the air. It's all true. Turn on the news, people. Wake up.
Yeah, wake up. All right. We could both agree that Apple makes some kick-ass hardware, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Especially with their MacBook Pros that use a unibody design constructed out of aluminum. Would you agree? No. Yeah, they make some great hardware.
Yes. I mean, it is expensive for good reason. I mean, it's hard to beat the craftsmanship that they put into it.
Well, you heard the story that happened this past week at the shooting at the Fort Lauderdale airport, leaving 5 dead.
And a new one in Orlando. There was an officer-involved shooting in Orlando that happened earlier today, I believe.
Yeah, I just heard about that. Well, anyway, this one guy's MacBook Pro appeared to save his life. Yeah, MacBook Pro saves man's life in Fort Lauderdale shooting. Yeah, apparently this guy's MacBook took a bullet, a ricocheting bullet.
How come they couldn't just say man's laptop?
I don't know. I mean, you got HP, you know, made of plastic, jigsaw puzzle design, you know, but yeah, look at this thing. I mean, this is it took a shot, definitely. If this is the actual picture, which I'm gathering it is, but it's yeah, this is a crazy story. I mean, it's a tragic event that happened, but
to CNN's Anderson Cooper about his chilling experience inside the airport terminal.
I dropped to the ground, I heard more of the popping sound, and then while I'm on the floor at eye level, I'm seeing people in front of me get hit.
You actually saw that?
I saw that. There was a man probably 10 feet away from me that was shot in the head, and his wife, you know, collapsed on top of him.
Wow.
And
was he shot when he was standing up, or was he on the floor as well?
We were all on the floor.
So the shooter just went over and shot somebody who was laying down on the floor?
It was from a certain distance. So the shooter was not necessarily walking around the whole baggage claim area. He was still several feet away from many of us, but he kind of shot into the crowd and toward the floor and hit that man.
Was he saying anything at all before or during the shooting?
He said absolutely nothing. He said absolutely nothing. And so there was a point where the entire terminal was, the baggage claim area is completely silent, and all we could hear was just the popping of the gun.
That's how you remember it, people not screaming, but you remember silence?
The people screaming were the people that might have been hurt, or people that were
he seems pretty calm.
Someone, you know, or a loved one that was hit.
I understand you had a backpack with you.
I did.
And that actually saved you, or may have saved you. What happened?
The backpack saved my life. I was wearing a backpack on both shoulders, and then when we went to the floor, I just, you know, I dropped and the backpack was still on my back. And I was turned in such a way where at one point when the shooter shot toward my direction, and there were several other people around me, there was a bullet that ricocheted, and I did not know this until much later. I felt something hit my back, and I craned around, and I thought it was because the luggage was still coming. So there was luggage that was falling on top of me too, and I thought it was just luggage at that time. And it was only later when I go to the bathroom to check myself out that the bullet had entered my backpack, hit my laptop, and then later when I gave my bag over to the FBI for investigation, they found the bullet in the pocket of my backpack.
That's incredible. So your laptop saved your life. I mean, your laptop stopped the bullet.
The laptop, and I believe too the fabric of the backpack. And so the laptop, the plastic casing, all of that combination, because it was since I was on the ground like a tortoise, you know, with the backpack on me, the way that it ricocheted and entered my bag, that would have been my back.
Well, with that extraordinary account, that was the shooting witness Steve Frappia speaking.
It was partly his backpack, partly the laptop.
Yeah, combination of both. Yeah, and apparently in was it in 2015? Something similar happened, according to 9 to 5 Mac reports, where an iPhone saved someone's life. So, yeah, it's a tragic incident that happened. You know. All right, this next story touches close to home here in Southwest Florida. Apparently, this guy in Burnt Store Marina, all right, that's Southwest Florida, for everyone wondering. All right, he was fishing on a sandbar. So what that means is you're walking out, you know, usually from a beach, and you're walking to a sandbar, and you're treading water, usually, you know, like up to your neck sometimes. You know, I've done this personally, all right, and you're fishing. It's a great spot to fish, okay? And apparently 9-10 sharks start circling around this guy, okay? And he's out there for like an hour and a half. You know, he's using his phone trying to get help, and eventually he gets through on an emergency, the emergency number on your phone, his iPhone. Yeah, an instance of an iPhone saving someone's life again, possibly. Okay, so he eventually gets through, and they send the Coast Guard out. But yeah, I'm throwing it in, and I thought it was a cool story, you know, local story. But here, check this out.
It was almost like a little feeding frenzy going on around me. Because, I mean, I guess I was the only thing that was really stinking up the water.
It was a normal day of fishing near Burnt Store Marina for Steve Moon when the tide turned, leaving him stranded and surrounded by sharks.
And I started to notice the fins, and I'm like, oh, great.
And you can bet Steve was not as excited for the up-close encounter with the sharks as they probably were.
And it wasn't a big deal until, you know, I counted 10. And, you know, that they kept getting closer, more aggressive, you know, getting within like a foot of me.
What was going through your mind at that point?
Holy shit. This sucks.
Get out.
For an hour and a half, Steve used his fishing rod to fend off sharks as they closed in on him.
I saw him out of the corner of my eye, you know, come toward my leg, and I was able to just see the back of him, you know, and I'm like, yeah, that's a 7-foot shark.
Out of options and out of signal, Steve said it was the emergency button on his iPhone that came in clutch when he had no other way of escape.
Once the dispatch got in touch with Boca Grande and all the other ones, they were there within 10 minutes. So I mean, they're pretty fast.
Speed that Steve says saved his life. Now the 24-year-old fisherman has a story he'll probably be telling his grandkids.
We're gonna take a break here. I'm gonna take a trip over to Walmart with Joey Wolf, and we need to pick up a new set of headphones, you know, with a microphone. So here starts our journey. On the way to Walmart. Yep. Cape Coral, Florida. I'm sorry?
So they know you're fucking up when they pull you over through the drive-thru.
We are now in the electronics section, and we're going to be looking for headphones. Change of plans. We're gonna walk over to a bar. They got live entertainment going on. Have a beer. See what's going on.
Hey, we got Barefoot Willie, man. I want to tell you about a little YouTube channel called Zero Wire. Is it Zero Wire? Wire Zero. Same thing that couldn't change my mind. I gotta take it on the other side. Take it on the other side. Take it on. Take it on.
More XFiles for 2018. It looks like it. According to CNET.com, a story published by Bonnie Burton, agents Fox Mulder and Dana Scully haven't given up on discovering the truth about UFOs. So why should we? Luckily, Fox's 6-episode revival of the X-Files TV series that aired last year had a rating success. Fans couldn't be getting more spooky stories. This is awesome. If you're an X-Files fan like myself, very cool. Something we got to look forward to 2018. If last week's Senate security hearing wasn't dumb enough, this news is just off the charts stupid. Okay? Rudy Giuliani to advise Trump on cybersecurity. So apparently, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani will serve as cybersecurity advisor to President-elect Donald Trump. once he takes office. Okay, this guy, whose site, by the way, his security company that he runs, which he's, I guess, going to be the liaison to, the government and private security firms. But here's their website right now. Okay, this was up this morning. I actually pulled it up, looking at it, it looked like really outdated website. Okay, and couldn't even figure out what they really did. Just a lot of what it looked like, fancy words. They're trying to make it look like it's some. Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I'm on the fence with this. I don't even know if
he has no technical background though. Like,
no,
he went to a school to be a lawyer. He was a quote-unquote businessman, a public speaker, and obviously the former mayor of New York.
Yeah, this isn't a guy that should be in this position. This guy is who should be in this position.
Oh, and he's 72 years old too.
Yeah, John McAfee. I mean, he's fully qualified to be in this role, but they would never have someone like that. Someone that was definitely rides against the rail on that one. But
yeah,
nobody seems to know what Rudy Giuliani's cybersecurity firm actually does. I got the same impression when I was on their website. I wish I could pull the site up. I should have grabbed the site. I wonder if it's taken down by the Wayback Machine. But yeah, this is just, I can't even wrap my head around it. What do you think? What's their motivation behind this?
That's my opinion on it. It's just very silly. It's obvious that he has no idea what the word cybersecurity means. He wasn't even a very good lawyer. If you look back into his history on that, he wasn't even good at that.
You know what he did? He kissed his ass. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember doing the primaries and the election. He's kissing his ass. Can Giuliani even turn on a computer? Trump's cybersecurity pick battles internet on RT, and I'm sure RT is going to get bashed on that. But yeah, this guy does not need to be in this position. People need to realize this. There's like I keep saying, there's an agenda that it's all a dog and pony show, man. John McAfee, that's perfect. Get him in. We're doomed. We're doomed.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to the normal people, basically, because they're obviously putting people in certain positions. Trump is putting certain people in positions, and for us, we don't know the reasoning behind it, but obviously there's a reason behind it. So it looks silly to us because we're basing his choice on skill alone, and it's obviously not the case.
And this is a guy who can't even keep his website up, or his people can't keep a website up. But then again, like I said, this might be on purpose. This website might be down because they pulled it down.
Everybody has always wanted to fly, and whenever people hear the term jetpack, that's what they really think about. So what we've done is we've reduced the amount of force. We're not able to fly with our jetpack, but we have instantaneous thrust, and we can pretty much trigger it to allow, for faster movements, agile motions, and so forth. With the project being called 4MM, for 4-minute mile, our overall goal is really to get any soldier or any test subject at the time to be able to run a 4-minute mile that wasn't already capable of doing so. Well, I started doing this research kind of by accident. The team at the time was just at the infancy of this project. Cool. So they initially came to me because I owned a welding business and was also a student here at the university.
And so we were developing robots that could assist amputees, and DARPA came back to us and asked us, could you develop robots that could assist able-bodied people and make them?
So DARPA's involvement in this was just them telling that they wanted a robot. You know what I mean? Because DARPA's heavily funded. I do think they have this already in the bag, this type of technology, jetpacks and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess they're just kind of like hoping that DARPA stays under the radar. That's what they're hoping for, because if they make it look like they're helping someone develop a jetpack, it means that DARPA doesn't have jetpacks. So it's a mutually beneficial type thing. But yeah, let's keep watching.
And be able to run faster or do things that they couldn't do before.
And from there, things just kind of clicked because I was really interested in the robotic process. So the fact that I could work on designing something and then turn around and weld up a prototype the next day or even same day really reduced our overall time as a lab on getting ideas from concept to prototype.
We certainly had doubts about could you make someone run faster, and in fact Jason and I had tried to use a towing force with a golf cart to see if you could pull someone and allow them
Looks
to
like a
run
jackass
fast.
stunt.
So I personally ran around a track and then decided that yes, with the correct pulling force you could get someone to run a 4-minute mile. But the problem is, how do I apply those forces? Do I apply the forces on the trunk, or do I design an exoskeleton that applies forces at the hips and ankles?
But the more that we've kind of researched into it and found out potential applications, we found that in a warfare type arena, this could be potentially the difference between life and death. If you think of, you know, a Navy SEAL or an Army soldier that
I mean, yeah, I think everyone can think of a situation where a jetpack could save them. I don't know about the one that makes you run fast, like these guys are developing, but you do have to run before you can fly, so to speak, in the jetpack world. I guess this is the room where they keep their past creations and stuff, prototypes. I still think the newest one is a prototype, but you can see that the one in the middle is like pointed down, like they wanted that one to have some lift. You know what I mean? But the one on the far right, I'm assuming, is their latest one, and that one looks like it's more aimed to not really pick someone up, like they said. Like they're not trying to make people fly, they're just trying to make it enhance running, things like that. So yeah.